What up, though, homies and homies? It's your homeboy Grand Tizzle, and I ain't got no time for no games or nothing, man. I ain't coming on here with no jokes or nothing, man. I'm just delivering madness, man. I guess I can give y'all one joke. Hold on. If a man wears a suit, what does a house wear? You got 5 seconds to think about it. If a man wears a suit, what does a house wear? A dress. You a goofball, fool. Who, me? Yeah, you. Couldn't be. Then who? You. Oh man, there's about to be some changes around here, man. They didn't approve me for my other YouTube channel, man. Remember I got kicked out of my other YouTube channel, man? They kicked me out of my YouTube channel. It's Days V's TV, man. I had to start Red Media Art, man. They gave it back to me, man. I'm all giddy. I'm about to do some stupid stuff. Y'all want to see some stupid stuff? Go over there, man. But y'all want to see some, edutainment, entertainment, education. You know, you got it here. But y'all want to see that kooky stuff, man? Sonny, man, I'm gonna let Sonny go and run that channel over there, man. I'm gonna let him do whatever he want to do. I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know what he got planned, but it's gonna be crazy. But anyway, check this out, man. This is for my entrepreneur, and I want to share it with y'all. There's some very small things that's going on, and I didn't really, my entrepreneur is teaching me more than I'm teaching him, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Because he's helping me to realize things that I miss in my tutorials. Like he helped me, the questions that he asked me. I'm like, man, I assume that a lot of people know a lot of the things, you know what I'm saying? And I be getting it twisted, like people don't know that stuff. So take your time, make you a basic, like a basic series. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to, based on his questions, I'm gonna do small, short, pocket-sized tutorials, for lack of a better word, but it's going to be beginner's basics. So, I'm going to do a tutorial like a 1 to 5 minute tops. I'm gonna try my best not to do it over 5 minutes, but I'm gonna do 1 to 5 minute basic essential tutorials. So teaching you every single thing about it. Then I'm gonna make a playlist, and that's just gonna be its own little movie. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna do it I'm not gonna do it in order, unfortunately, because, I'm gonna do it as the questions come. I'm gonna put it in order after it's all done. After it's all done, I'm gonna, put everything in order, like file, edit, image, layer, type, and then, the marquee tool, the lasso to the point, the brush, all these different things, so that you won't have to wrap your head around it. And when you just want to go, I'm gonna do it to where when you want to learn that specific thing, you can just type it in, go right to the playlist, and just look. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? And I'm just gonna chop them up in 5-minute segments. And y'all better go ahead and learn it, man, because I might turn it into like a series or a thing. I might sell it. Nah, I ain't gonna sell it, man. I love y'all, man. We're just gonna do it for free and have fun. Just share and like and comment. All y'all gotta do for me, just do me a favor, man. If I ask y'all a fun little joke or little question, just leave it, you know what I'm saying? Answer it in the comment, man. I ain't asking y'all for That's all right, man. Just give me $100 contribution. Do that. Each of y'all give me $100. Give me, please, I beg y'all, please, give me $100 each. I can make like $300,000, because if I get like 300 views and each of y'all give me $100, that's $300,000. Y'all can make me rich. And then I just go off in the boat, man, and just drift off into the sunset, man. I ain't never got to do another tutorial. Nah, man, I'm just kidding. So what I do, man, I ask y'all for a big thing. So y'all be like, Nick, you cray. I didn't cause I said, Nick, you cray. That's it, Nick, you cray. I'm gonna make a shirt called Nick, you cray. Nick, you cray. All right, man. I ain't even drinking neither, though. You see what I'm saying? I ain't even drunk that, man. But check this out, man, for real. I ain't asking y'all for 100. Y'all can donate $1 though. Go on and give me $1. That's $300. That's cool. $1 each. Come on, man. Let's have some fun. Just do it, man. Just donate $1, man. Y'all making me feel like a bum. T, you gotta borrow $1. Yeah, man. I gotta borrow it. Let me show y'all. Y'all think I'm playing? Let me show y'all this video of me and my granddaughter. Jeez. They keep trying to hustle me for my money. I do need gas money. It's only $3. Don't you know I'm poor?
No.
Yes, I'm poor.
If you need gas money, get somebody to give you gas
You
money.
think I'm a millionaire because I got a YouTube channel?
Granddad, I'm going to have this money, and you going to ask people.
You crazy. I ain't about to be begging nobody. Give me that. You want me to beg people for gas money?
Yeah. Go.
That ain't how you do that.
Take it. I'll take
Men don't beg for money.
Goodbye.
Let me see. Here, I give you this. I'll trade you that for this. Now this is way more valuable.
No.
You know what you could buy with 25 pennies? You only got $1. It's just $1. But this is 25 pennies. You could buy 25 pieces of penny candy. 25.
Let me see.
Now give me that dollar back.
That doesn't even have $1.
Give me. Give me. See, it's not a game. It's all real in the field. In the battlefield, it's real in the battlefield. Okay, fam, so anyway, I done wasted all your time, and I'm sorry about that. But this tutorial in particular is about fonts, right? So what I wanted to share with my entrepreneur is this here. When you select our fonts, like I was giving him some tips and advice on which type of fonts to use, because you got so many, you're like, oh man, I'm kind of overwhelmed, like which one do you use? And I was telling him that there's kind of like the go-to fonts for flyers in particular, and the go-to fonts is kind of like the heavier, skinnier, broad, kind of tall, right? And I told him the reason why a lot of times we go to these type of fonts is because they're tall, they're close to each other, and they're readable. You see what I'm saying? They have a lot of contrast, so it don't hurt your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And then think about, look, even when you take it and you shrink it all the way down, when do it start hurting? It don't hurt. Well, for me right now, I can still see it and say this is a premium font. And if you're looking at it on a big screen, you can still see it. You can see it even better. Now I got a 4K screen, so it's getting smaller to me right now, but that might still be big for y'all, and I can still read it. This is a premium font. And the thing is, when you're picking the fonts, sometimes they look good, but sometimes you got to make some adjustments. So we're going to talk about the character section with text and fonts, and we're going to talk about so there's no names for it. I don't see it when I hover over it. Let me see. Nope, it don't give me a name, but it's about kerning, about spacing, about stretching, about adjusting the heights and things like that. I mean, we're also going to get into these later on, the hieroglyphs or whatever they call it, glyphs or something like that. I forget what they call it right now. I can't think about it. But anyway, so this is a good font, but one of them that we use that's like really popular is the Bebas New font. I'm gonna have to hear somebody say that, because I know that my black ghetto speech impediment. So it's Bebas New. I'm gonna just call it Bebas New. Where they do that at Bebas New? I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna change that to Bebas New, and he had some legitimate complaints. Well, not complaints, but concerns. He had some legitimate concerns about that font, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do when you're dealing with fonts. A lot of times people try. So right now, so let me see. That's Bebas New, and let's go to Bebas. Okay, so the Bebas is look at the spacing and look at the kerning. You see. So although this is a good font, like look at that, it do look a little funky. And I'm going to share a video with you guys. Let me show y'all real quick. And I want y'all to watch this video because we in the game, you understand? And obviously YouTubers supposed to support each other, but I'm gonna definitely give this person a shout out. And I want y'all to go check out his video And you can pause this, go check it out, and then come back, or check it out. Matter of fact, maybe I'll put his link up. Maybe I'll put his link up at the back, and y'all can check that out. Make sure y'all watch that though. But I'm gonna show you what it talks about. So it's this one right here. It's called "What's Wrong with the Google Logo," and it's very interesting. And I don't think it's very important that you, as a graphic artist, if you're watching this video, you're into graphic designs. It's very important that you watch that and you understand what's going on. Basically, it has to do with optical illusion. So what you're trying to get at, T? Okay, so this is the rules. Whoever's made this font that we use, this is a very endearing font for all of us, right? But sometimes you have to make adjustments. Why it take you 9 minutes to get to the point? I don't know. So let me go ahead and try to get to the point. So this is a created font, but you see that the spacing, something is wrong with the spacing, right? So the idea is to get in here and use this character arranging, right? So you will see here, we got this vertical here, and that's kind of like kerning. Okay, I don't know what is going on. Why is this going? Why is it not responding to what I'm telling it to do? Okay, maybe I messed something up. Okay, so anyway, you see that I select optical, and you see that it kind of squirrels the fonts together. And what do that mean? What do optical mean? Well, that means that optically, this looks right. It looks better, as opposed to the original when we pulled it up originally. Let me see if I metrics or whatever, or the other thing you can do is you can select these letters, and I was trying to explain in detail to my friend Jay, but you can actually take this and kind of move them together and break them apart. But then now you're going to be the issue is going to be dealing with the space between each letter. You see that? Now you'll notice how the space between that letter, then you'll notice it's almost like a whole nother space like after it. But see, that's the S, but it got a little dead space behind it. So what happens is it funks that font up. It screws it up. You know what I'm saying? So there's a variety of ways you can deal with it. So for example, you can kind of just select all of these like that, and let's zero these out. Okay, and you can just select a letter like that, and you can kind of squeeze them together here like that, right? Take that one, adjust that, squeeze it. See how it's squeezing it, but it's still leaving a space there. Get the premium there and squeeze them together. Now, this kind of goes for, I would say, the expert. You know what I'm saying? This is when you get to expert level, because you really know, you have a vision for font. And I encourage you guys to really dig deep into typography. Typography is the game, fam. Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. The real secret to the game, fam, when it comes to graphic and when it comes to doing professional, high quality graphics, typography. Oops, what you doing? Typography right here, y'all. Now, typography, you can really learn a lot by just looking at magazine covers. Look at the magazine covers. Study magazine covers. Study it. Redo magazine. Matter of fact, I'm gonna redo a magazine cover. We're gonna do something like Source Magazine or Jet or something, hip hop or whatever. Or we can do some corporate stuff. But notice, if you remove everything, all you see is Michelle's face. If you remove everything, all you see is his image. But something is about now. What makes this image eye-popping is how they using their fonts. They're almost painting a picture with typography. They're painting, so more than just the image. Yeah, the image is beautiful, but without the fonts, it's just a picture. But now with the fonts, you see, it's a art, it's a craft, it's some knowledge behind that, fam, and it really do get deep. So I'm gonna definitely have to come back. I'm gonna have to double back, and I took up typography because I wanted to more or less understand why some of the things that I was doing, sometime it works, sometime it wouldn't. And it's all about balance, man. It's treating text like images. It's like treating text like, you know, like I'm a graffiti artist, right? And when you're doing graffiti, let me show you something real quick. When you're doing graffiti, you're only dealing with text. You can throw a little face in there every now and again, but the real true art of graffiti is text. And what is the secret? What is the secret sauce? What is the secret formula of graffiti? It's weight and balance. Weight and balance. So let's pick this one for example. We take a look at this, and I know y'all might not be into graffiti, but I just want you to understand what's going on here. Why do the words look so artistic? Like, you know, I have a passion for graffiti. I just love the way, you know, artists take letters and twist and turn them. It's like a form of calligraphy. Graffiti, calligraphy. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the same vein or realm or whatever you want to call it. The reason why it got the bad slogan, or should I say the bad term graffiti, is because they would do beautiful art, but it was considered vandalism because of where they were put it. But when it started, the reason why they was putting it on walls and things like that is so that it can get noticed. So that's why they would put it, and they would put their tag name on it. And now, okay, so now I'm a professional artist. Unfortunately, I can't get paid for it, but guess what? You do see my work. So it's a history behind it, but coming back from the history, color schemes and everything, man. There's so much that goes into it, man. But it's all about weight and balance. The way the S, how it's thick up there, and then it gets thin right there, and then it gets real heavy down there. So everything else kind of have to weigh and balance the same. Like me, I probably would have made the T maybe a little longer so that it can have a little balance there. You know what I mean? This is like a really good one here. We got the A. Okay, some of them get a little difficult here, right here. I don't know what that's a. That's an A. That looks like an A. That looks like an S. A, S, maybe combined with a B, and that, I don't know, K, I don't know. I had to get back into it. But what happens is when you're doing graffiti, you do the basic shape of the letter, but then you try to camouflage it with arrows, twists, turns, mechanics, things like that. That's what it's all about. But good graffiti is balance, weight, cohesion, right? And how do you? And here's an irony, fam. Do you have to go to school to learn this? Did every graffiti artist go to school to learn this? Absolutely not. You ain't going to no school to learn how to do graffiti appropriately. So how did they learn? From studying, from watching others, and knowing the basic fundamentals of it can help you. So by me being an artist, by me being a graffiti artist, this is all this really is. It's like, it's like modern graffiti, but you got the weight, you got balances. For example, I was telling him, normally you're going to have your main lettering, right? Then your main title, that's going to be considered 100%. Then you're going to have all your other, that's not a good one here. Then you're going to have all of your other ones. Now that's 100%. Now technically, you don't really supposed to put serifs along with non-serifs. But that gets into that's a whole totally deeper thing. So don't even worry about that. I shouldn't even have brought that up. But anyway, it's like knowing the rules and then breaking the rules. Like you'll notice you don't see no serifs in here. Where that V right there, the vowel part, but everything else is is a non-serif font. Anyway, so but for the most part, it gets deep. Now, we looking right here. Now, as you can see here, look at what type of font you think they're using. Beavis Norris, or Norris Beavis, or Beavis No. You know what I'm saying? And again, the reason why they like to use that is because you can get more lettering in. You can also read it. You can see contrast. You see that? That's not a good idea, the E being in that light blue, but they can do whatever they want to do. You're already familiar with Team Vogue. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, the tool to use this, the tool to break this down here goes all up in here. So now you can adjust the size here, right? You can adjust the up and down. So this was only if, let's say for instance, we say this is a premium font. Let's go to the end and then say, we say designers collection, right? So, so we see that it's bundled up right there. We select all of these and we go up in here and we adjust the height and size. And normally, if you really want it to look good, you probably wouldn't move it down there, right? That's not really a good look. What I would do is move it up a little closer. We keep in mind the space between the letters and everything that we already see, and then we adjust accordingly. So all of the space in here, you see between each letter is that space, right? So we got from the M to the I, we got that amount of space. Then from that, we got that amount of space. Well, the same thing can go from there. From the here to here, it should be the same amount of space. Now, that is what I would do on a particular, that rule don't apply all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's only if you're trying to have a cohesive look. We see here that this is too close together. So I would probably space them out a little bit by spaces. Basically what you're doing is you really want the optical balance to look right to the viewer. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you will use a font and sometimes you have to go in there and manually change and adjust things so that it can have an optical cohesiveness to the rest of the layout. You understand where I'm coming from? So this would probably be the way I would do it. There's a few different other ways, but here's your tools over here. So if we could change that to optical, that's going to automatically adjust it accordingly. Now that looks better already, but that was after I had did what I did. Also, I probably would do something like this, like a black, and we're going to come back very shortly and do another tutorial on logos, because I have to create a logo for this artist named Noble, and I think I had already talked to you guys about Noble. And this time you're going to get a chance to watch in real time. Do select that. You're going to be able to watch in real time how the design was put together from scratch. And this is real life, and you get to see it first before this artist become big and famous. Hopefully that's what works out for. Okay, so but this is something that I would do. The other thing good about kerning is something like selecting it, like that look good, but you can also space that sucker out too, right? Now we're talking about weight and balance. So now what's happening is you might not like that, like that might not have a good look. And I'm looking and I see that don't have a good look, you know what I mean? So a lot of times if you're gonna space it out like that, because again, it's just all about the design, it's all about the art, it's all about the graphic, it's all about the look, right? So I would spread it out a little more. Let's bring this out more so we can kind of have that covered there. We want to check the spacing between that, right? The spacing of that have to be right. You see, so it can have a cohesive look to it, and it takes practice, but I encourage you guys to look at magazines, look up typography. Let me show you something real quick. Typography. When you're good at typography, man, what happens is this. Let me show y'all something. When you're really good, man, you can just type word. Look at this, look at that. That's art right there. You can do shirts and stuff. You see, look at that. Design, share, inspire. That's considered typography. These logos right here, typography logos. Why? Because you're only dealing with just the text. So how do you make the text look appealing? You know what I'm saying? Typography. So let me look at a few more. That's good. That looks good to me. That looks really good to me. See that right there? See that never give up? I'm doing the same thing. Now, mind you, we didn't watch this before I did that. but it's just kind of like a visual thing. Now that probably was embedded in my subconscious from watching and studying it over and over again, just knowing what's good, the spacing of it. Look at this. This is a really good idea of what I'm talking about. This is very simple, but the weight of the words, the size of the words, it just look good. Can't explain why, it just does. I'm looking at this. We can scroll down. Look at this. This looks great. It looks great. What'd that say? Don't dance works, can't works? I don't know. Dance works. This looks super, man. I love it. That's typography, right? Super duper typography. Like this is beautiful. This is beautiful typography. Now I want to ask you a question. Now watch this. How do you feel when you look at that? Besides the red raising your blood pressure, but do you feel like this is something rich or something poor? Do you feel that it's something ghetto or elite? You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean to be, disrespectful when I say ghetto. I hope ain't nobody taking it personal when I say that stuff. But just the size, the weight, the spacing gives you a modern feel, like we looking at the New York, but we know it's an N and a Y, but the fact that they use the thin serifs there, it gives us this feeling of elite. It gives us this feeling of rich, like you walking into not a bank, but like a corporation that deal with modern technology. Now you see how the thoughts. Now here's the irony, fam. You see the thoughts that's running from your mind just based off of the fonts that they use. They know what they're doing. There is an art and a magic behind this, fam. So I want you to learn this. What do you feel when you see? Let's see. Let's find something else. This here. What do you see? What do you feel when you see that? The first word to come to my mind is fun. I don't know why. It say use too much sun lotion, but fun. Why? Because it's loose. You see what I'm saying? That's typography. Typography just does things. You see? So anyway, and here, look, we can even look at this. Typography tutorial for beginners. We should all watch this all together, man. Look at that. Height, base, bold, serif, descender. All of these things really truly mean something. So along with good images, man, you really want to know good typography too. You really want to understand it. All of these things, look, terminal, lowercase, look at that. Final, look, counter. They count in the spacing in between each letter. That's what goes into good calligraphy as well. Let's look at some calligraphy real quick. Calligraphy, and I'll say Gothic because Gothic is my favorite calligraphy. And then I'll type hand lettering. Okay, look at that. Look at this. See that right there? That's beautiful. They got their spacing. Look at this spacing. The space between that equal to that. A little bit right there. But the spacing, okay, all right. So the spacing in between each letter, okay, I slipped up a little bit. But again, we keep in mind that this is handwritten. And I don't know everything. I ain't perfect. But you get the idea. You'll notice, look, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That never looked good together. Think about that for a minute. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They was able to do it in a way where it looked like art. You can put this on a shirt. You see, you get the idea? I'm sure you do. Okay, T, we get it, dang. But going back to this real quick. What I would do, I would get creative. So in my mind, this may be too bold for this look here. So I would go in there and then I would change that font to something thinner. You see how that works? That looks a little better. You can also do things like, you know what, here, let me do this real quick. Let me cut this. I'm gonna cut it and then paste another layer so I can really change the fonts around by itself. Okay, cool. All right, where are you, buddy boy? Are you right here? Where are you at? Paste. Okay, where the heck did you go? All right, forget about it. Here. Supposed to cut, and I'm supposed to be able to pick another layer, and then we paste. All right, forget it. Let's just retype it. But I want to do something separate here. So we'll type in designers collection. And I just want to show you something real quick, and we can go ahead and leave up out of here. But here, so I would change it to the thinner, or something like something without a tail or serif on it. Something really thin. Look, something like, no, that's kind of fancy here. Let me shrink that down so you can see what's happening there. Okay, but something more sophisticated. So so I would go maybe something like that. Now the only thing is that it's kind of fat, right? So since it's fat, I really kind of want these lettering, but I kind of want it tall. You understand? But anyway, that looks, to me, my eyes, it looked a little bit more better than the previous thing. Then I was also saying, okay, so sometime, okay, so you say, well, I like that, I do like it, but it's too thin. Well, if it's a font that don't have the option to make it bold, then there's a few things you can do. Like you can double it up, make it a little bolder. Right now you can see it. So then I would select all of these. I will hold rasterize, then I will hold Control E and merge them together. If that's not enough, then there's other things you can do, like go to your layer style and put a stroke on it. Put a white stroke and give it 1 pixel and grow it as needed. See, so that's without a stroke, that's with a stroke. You see, maybe if that's good enough for me from what I see, but you may want to add 1 or 2 more things. But you keep in mind when you do that, now you're starting to see the real shape of the letter, and you might not want, like, look like it's getting a serif up there in the eye. No, I don't want that to show. So you may back it down. Oh, it was there all the way anyway. But it looks kind of like it's rounding out, and we don't want it to round out. We really want it to be straight in edge. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because I want you to be able to adjust accordingly. You know, you're not going to use everything like the fonts. You can get some fonts and be like, man, I love that font, but I don't like the way it's moving. It's not moving right. It's the weight of it, the balance of it, something is off. Hit that optical. Okay, that looks better. Oh, okay, well, why it ain't come like that? Well, just some fonts just do that. All right, so anyway, I wanted to share that with you, of course, obviously. Let's see here. Now y'all got me stuck on it. Now what we're going to do, and what's going to be really nice for the next tutorial that's coming, like literally coming up, I may actually have both of these tutorials posted tonight, but I'm getting ready to do a text only or a typography logo. That's what we're about to do. We're about to do a logo for artists, a recording artist, right? Now that's tricky. It's tricky to do that because once you get that logo going, it sticks forever. So this session is about to be real deep, y'all. But I wanted to share this with y'all before we moved on to much more advanced tutorial. So make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, buy out the opportune time to sit down and watch this, especially if you're trying to get off into the logo design and you want to know what the mindset is and the approach and things like that. We're going to talk about weight and balance and spacing and all of that good stuff, typography, the rules and things like that. What goes on in the mind, you know, what's the meaning of the word, you know, why does she choose that word? Okay, well, you know, how we're going to flip it, how we're going to twist it. You know what I'm saying? So it's about to get tricky, but it's going to be fun. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and pay attention. And I'm going to leave y'all with one more question. If y'all made it this far, please answer this question here. All right, so here's a question. If you were stuck on Gilligan's Island and you had to send a message out, put a message in the bottle, what would it say? And don't be talking about no send for me. Put a message in the bottle, baby, baby, baby. Give me your own idea. What would you say? Come on, man. Alright, let me get out of here, man. I'm just a goofball, man. And y'all is just as silly as listening to all this madness. Alright, see y'all in a minute. See y'all when I spin it. Thank you for listening. Peace.